Popular community, Jenna here. We are talking about prioritizing exercise. What a big topic to delve into, and a topic that I know we all struggle with. If it was easy to just do our exercise plan, we wouldn't be here talking about it. It's hard. And I don't think it's hard because we don't know the health benefits of exercise. I think we do. Reducing our cardiovascular risks, making our bones strong, our muscles strong, helping our lungs and heart to work efficiently, reducing our cancer risks, improving our mental health. We know all these things. I think exercise is hard for us because it's hard for us to keep it consistent, to keep it an everyday practice. And that's what I'd like to explore with you today, how to make exercise consistent. And so I've got 4 tips for you, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, that I hope might get your mind thinking about how you can incorporate consistent exercise into your everyday. And when we talk about exercise, I just want to clarify, we're talking about physical activity that is planned and structured and has a certain intensity to it. So to some degree, moving our body, no matter what it is always going to be good. But to get those really long-term health benefits, we want exercise, something that's got a bit of structure to it. So my tip number 1 for consistent exercise is to choose an activity that you like to do. There's nothing worse than that internal struggle of like, oh, I've got to exercise and I'm going off to do this thing I don't enjoy. No. Pick an activity you like to do. And for me, it's figure skating. I did it when I was younger and I got back into it as an adult. And it's the thing that helps me stay on my plan because I find myself enjoying it and then signing up for session after session. So pick an activity you like. You might not know what that activity is for you yet, and that's okay. I encourage you, put on your bravery pants, grab a buddy, and go out there and try some new activities. So look to your local community center, look to recreational clubs in your area, or even online like here at Poplar with our fitness club classes. Come on out, try a class. Usually you can try them out with no long-term commitments. See what you like. Okay, tip number 2 is participate in the exercise with a buddy, with a friend, a neighbor, a loved one. So when we exercise with a buddy, they help to keep us accountable, don't they? Because we always have those days where it's like, oh, do I have to do my exercise now? We're low energy or low fatigue. And if that buddy is there holding you accountable and you could go off together and chat or listen to music or make time pass somehow, it makes it easier. So my second tip for you is to exercise with a buddy. And my personal example is I've got a neighbor and we like to walk together. And whenever I have a free moment, it's not structured, I just text her and say, hey, can you go for a walk? And we go out and we walk. We hit a good intensity. We're chatting along the way. And at the end of the day, I'm able to check off that tick box on my exercise plan. Tip number 3 to make exercise consistent is to break your exercise down into small chunks. So there was a time where I would build up my exercise plan and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week, gonna go for an hour and a half, gonna do cardio, gonna do resistance, gonna add in some stretch and some balance. And then the time would come and it would be after work and I'm low energy and like an hour and a half at the gym just felt so daunting and I would talk myself out of it. It just felt like a mountain I couldn't climb. So I've learned over time to break my exercise down into small chunks. And a perfect example of this deals with walking again. So the physical activity guidelines, Canadian physical activity guidelines, encourages us adults to try and get 150 minutes in of moderate to strenuous physical activity. And so walking is a great example. It could be dancing, it could be, playing an aerobic sport of some kind. But 150 minutes a week seems a lot. So we start to break it down. Maybe we break it down into 30 minutes, 5 days a week, which adds up to the 150 minutes. And maybe that is a chunk that seems attainable to you, but maybe 30 minutes is still too big. And so guess what? You could break that chunk down even further. You could take a 30-minute walk and break it down into 2 15-minute walks in your day, maybe in the morning and one in the evening. And as long as you're hitting the right intensity, it counts. Guess what else? If 15 minutes seems, again, a bit too big of a chunk, break it down further. You could do 10-minute walks in a day, and that will equal your 30 minutes. And if you do that 5 days a week, boom, you've hit your 150 minutes. So take that exercise, break it down into small chunks. It absolutely counts. It makes it more achievable, and give yourself kudos whenever you're able to check that activity off in your exercise plan. Just be sure you're hitting the right intensity, and there's a lot of resources out there to help you to know how to do that, including us here at Pulmonary. All right, my fourth tip for you to make exercise consistent, and that fourth tip is to roll with resistance. So what that means is, I'm sure we've all found ourselves in those times where we're hitting our exercise plan. Maybe you're checking off some boxes I've told you. You picked an activity you like, you're going out with a friend, you're making it small chunks, and you're moving along and you're feeling good, and then boom, something happens. Maybe it's a breathing flare-up, maybe it's a body limitation or injury, and you think, I'm back to zero. I'm back to square one. And I want you to know that you're not back to square one. Your body has held in all of that good work that you've done, and it's going to help you to recover quicker. But I want you to roll through those feelings and roll through that resistance. So if we take a breathing flare-up, for example, when you're in the thick of it, when your symptoms are the most and you're just at the beginning of the flare-up, you're not going to get out to do your exercise plan. But this is where physical movement can be helpful. So even if you're in seated or even if you're lying down, just moving your body, stretching your body, working on your deep breathing, that's going to help you more than if you just laid there sedentary. Okay, so movement will help you in those moments. The second thing is, once you're starting to recover from the flare-up and you're starting to get a little more energy, you can start to come back to your exercise routine, but be kind to yourself. You're not going to be where you left off. You're going to have to build back up slowly, and that is okay. So build back up slowly. Work yourself back up to where you were. Listen to your breathing, listen to your body. You're going to get there. So an example that I could bring from my experience is that when I have an asthma flare-up and I'm trying to get back to skating, I do all those things and I let my support people know. So I talk to my coach and I say, hey, I'm coming back from an asthma flare-up. I'm going to need a longer warm-up, and my warm-up is going to feel harder. I'm going to need to maybe even wear a mask because the cold air on the ice triggers me during that time, so I wear a mask and I let them know. I'm going to need more breaks. I'm going to need more water breaks. And they understand, and I'm able to build back up my skating after an asthma flare-up, and eventually I get back to where I was. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some kindness coming back from a flare-up or some other roadblock in your exercise plan. You got this, and we got you. So again, a recap of 4 tips to keep exercise consistent. Tip number 1 is to pick an activity you like. Tip number 2, do it with a buddy, friend, neighbor, makes it more enjoyable, holds us accountable. Number 3, break your exercise down into smaller chunks, attainable chunks. And number 4, roll with resistance when we hit those roadblocks that we gotta work through. You got this, and we got you. So go out, live your best long life. We'll see you next time.